Hello, and today we are going to discuss The Platform, or as it should be called in Spanish, El Hoyo. This is a film I found on Netflix, which I think was just recently released, and it's a Spanish film about Goren, our protagonist. He wakes up to a prison room with one other occupant, and in order to eat, you get a buffet, I think once a day. But the buffet comes down in levels, so every prisoner's on a different level. So obviously the further it goes down, the less food there is. And it's an interesting movie because at first I thought this film was going to be like a real heavy-handed allegory of our current society, and it does certainly allude to that at points. However, during the last third of the film, I'd say, it takes this more like spiritual, like fable sort of take, which is interesting. And what I liked about this film is that a lot of the issues you'd have going into it, asking, oh, how does this work? Why is that? Why is this? Is sort of explained very early on. So it sort of gets rid of all those notions of how it works early on, so you can watch the film and you can get involved in the story. There's also like a hint of absurdism as well, because it's such a ridiculous premise. Like the opening bit is this orchestral music for the intro, and like you're immediately met with this guy playing a violin in the middle of a kitchen. It certainly doesn't take itself way too seriously. So the dialogue is interesting and it never felt like it dragged. And considering most scenes are two people in a room, with the situation changing of the different levels and the sort of clash of belief systems that each character has, makes it more than interesting for the entire runtime. Also with like a light sprinkle of like comedy at parts as well. Like I said before, it doesn't take itself too seriously, which is good, because films like this can often have a tendency to. Performances were good. In particular, this character played by Zorayan Eguilor. He's like this old man he's been there for months, so he sort of knows how the system works. He's got a voice that sounds like he's gargling stones, but he's really good in this because he both feels threatening and like he cares for the main character at the same time. He's a bit like a Spanish Hannibal Lecter. It's a very visceral film. Like, it really did make me feel a little bit queasy at parts. I like to think I have quite a strong stomach for stuff. There's also like a lot of gory moments. These are all sort of important to the film, and there's reason behind it. It's not just for the sake of shock, like in films like Hostel and stuff. So yeah, it's an intriguing film. Certainly made me want to stop eating for a bit. And also helped my Spanish. El gato abre la ventana. So I'm going to give it 4 out of 5.